Good day everyone. My name is Rabiu from Department of Business Administration, Bayero University, Kano. I'm going to take you on Module 6, which is Family Business and Succession Planning. This module is going to be a very interesting one because it's going to talk about the kind of business we normally see around us. You know, there are a lot of family businesses all over the place, which if you really understand how they work, if you have one, you can be able to, transform it into something more corporate, more entrepreneurial, which will, ensure its success. So it's going to be very interesting. And so family-owned businesses are vital force in the economy. More than 60% of all businesses are family-owned. Like I say, they are all over around. So a lot of businesses, especially in this part of the world, Africa and Nigeria, you find a lot of family businesses. This kind of business are the kind of business that are normally started by the grandfather or father or one of the senior member of the family. In most situations, this kind of business are not started with the intention of becoming a family business, but in most situations, when the starter, the pioneer of the business, gets old or demise, his family, his heirs or other family members, take over the family managerial responsibility, and that's how family business is given back to, transfer from one generation to another. So this kind of business, there are many. So because of their number, they are providing a lot of benefit to our economy, especially in terms of gross national product, in terms of employment generation, and so many other things. So with this, we can say that family business are very important in our economic development, which needs special attention in order to maintain the benefit from this kind of businesses. But despite all this contribution, this kind of family business hardly pass on to second or third generation, presently, because managing a family business is not an easy thing, because in most situations you need to balance family and business relationship, and sometimes family issues may interfere and affect the business normal operation. So it's very difficult, and because of this, the business hardly grow or pass on to many generations. So a lot of family businesses are dying on a daily basis. We had a story of Cabo Air and so many other businesses, especially in Kano State, that have ran and succeed and make name in their industry, but now they are no longer existing because of this kind of an issue of family business. And sometimes lack of good succession planning may bring an end to a family business, because if the senior member of the family who established the business did not make adequate preparation to nurture and prepare the next leader take over the business, the moment he passes the business to the person unprepared, that person may kill the business. So they normally die out before they reach, or before they reach a certain time. So we are going to see. So this model is designed to help students to understand the concept of family business and the transition from family businesses to the mega firms we see today in the corporate world. So family business in Africa and Nigerian sector, especially African, Nigeria, the kind of family we normally have is normally extended in nature, where you see a lot of people in a single family: the father, the mother, the children, the uncle, the nieces, the aunties, and everybody. So because of that, it becomes easier for people to create a family business, because they are all living in the same place, So the moment the senior person who creates the business, gets bored or become tired or demise, another member of the family will take over. So before you know it, the family business will be, going along the generation. So this kind of relationship makes it easy to engage other members of the family, to work and learn from the eldest members of the family, which is normally handed over to them to carry on because of the nature, because of the extended nature of the family in African, and especially in Nigeria. This kind of a relationship make it easy for them to create a family business, because in this kind of a family, everybody is trying to be a brother's keeper. So it is easy for them to come together to create a business that they can manage all together as a family business. So family businesses in Nigeria, as in other part of the world, come in virtually all sizes and exist in virtually all sectors of the economy. So they are all over the place, from small bracket, the tailoring outfit, the barbing, the carpentry, blacksmithing, dyeing, and so many other, the petty traders and what have you. You understand, and to very giant outfits like that of like Aliko Dangote, Dantata and Isiyaku Rabiu, and so many others. So they are virtually in every industry and in various sizes. Anywhere you can find a family business. So these are business conglomerates that were built by non-entrepreneurs from humble beginning. So concept of family business. People seem to understand what is meant by the term family business, yet when they try to articulate the precise definition, they quickly discover that it is a very complicated phenomenon. See these definitions. So even though the two words that make up family business are well known to all of us, but when we join them and try to articulate their meaning, we find out that it's something that is very vague and very difficult for someone to clearly define. But here we have some simple definitions that can help us, understand the concept very well. So this one says a business owned by a family but run by non-family manager. So you can qualify it as a family business. While this one, a business owned by a large multinational corporation but run by a local family member. So all these could be qualified as a family business. A business owned by a family but run by non-family managers. Like people having a business but is managed by other people as managers and workers. You understand? Or other people like shareholders have their own business but managed by a single family. So all these are family business. Or a business jointly owned by a related partner, each of whom has a son in the business. So all these are family business. Depending on the circumstances that lead to the establishment of the business, or the nature of the business, or the major actors of the business. So in most situations, family businesses, start when the initiator, in most situations the father or grandfather, began to involve other members of the family since from the childhood, so that they get the kind of a foreknowledge of what the business entails. So assumption about family business. There are many assumptions about family business. Number one, family influence startups. Family influence startups commonly occur and usually involve a new business. This normally involves a purposeful aim to set up a family business. This one is trying to say, sometimes a family business is created out of the intention to create a family business, something for the family, maybe because of the circumstance we found ourselves in this country. issue of unemployment and stuff like this. So a family that has a means, you understand, can set up a business dedicated for the family members to run, so that every member of the family can be engaged to be employed as a member as a manager or worker of the business. So this could be qualified as family influence startup, a startup that are created intentionally for the family to use, to work in, to benefit from. And then we have family corporate venturing. This is like entrepreneurship within an established family business. This is the process where an established family business, creates other businesses out of it, a system, endeavor. This normally catalyzes the start of new businesses under a given family name, like Dantata and Sau and Sons. They have a lot of businesses under this family name. So it's called family corporate venturing. And then family corporate renewal, entrepreneurial action through innovation and transformational change. This is a process where family business owners, make an effort to transform their business in cognizance or in relation to what is obtainable in other corporate organizations, to transform it, entrepreneurially, you understand, through innovation and creativity. And then we have provision of family private cash. Most new ventures are funded through family private cash. It's a process where extra money can be used to invest in other businesses as family business. And then family investment fund, almost the same thing. Family may pool an assets fund for use in funding entrepreneurial action of the family. So these are some of the factors or terms that are associated with family business. So commandments of family business, 10 commandments of family business. These are like do's and don'ts that guides the operation of family businesses. These factors or guidelines which, if a family business give considerable attention to, may result in a very effective and long surviving family business. Number one is induction and grooming. That is, when a new family member is going to be put into the family business as a manager or as a worker, that person needs to be trained and acquainted with all the necessary information and training and all skills to be able to partake as a member of family business. And then ownership structure. Ownership structure is very important. In order to transform a family business into a normal business, like most entrepreneurs businesses, where you have ownership structure. You understand, it is really going to help family business if the ownership structure is going to be identified or itemized, so that everyone in the family knows exactly what he owns in the family business. That would be like a shareholding in a family business, and that will help to minimize conflict and issues that may arise in family business, which is normally one of the factors that normally kill family business. Because of the nature of the family business, a certain member of a family may try to get his own belonging, part of the heirs and what have you, and that may bring an end to the family business, because some portion of the family business have to be taken and given to the person. But if everybody knows exactly what he owns in the business, that may go a long way to minimize this kind of problem. And then preserving wealth. Preserving wealth is used to use an entrepreneurial endeavor to other corporate businesses are using to manage and control activities of their business. And then conflict resolution mechanism, something like a constitution or maybe article of association or something like that. They will spell out everybody's right and obligation in family business, so that everybody knows exactly what is expected of him in a family business. That can go a long way to minimize conflict that normally arise in family businesses. Then business vision, strategy and governance. A family business needs to have a vision just like other normal businesses, so that they have a mental picture of where they want to be in the future. And then strategy, a kind of tactical procedure that will help them to stay ahead, to grow their business, to sustain it. And their governance, manage a good governance on how to manage the business so that it moves just like other corporate organization. And then family vision, strategy and governance. And then apart from the business vision, then family business needs to have a family vision. Being a family business that is known in a particular community as belonging to a particular family, that will make them special, and in the process they will try to protect their image and what have you. So in that they may have a vision which they may want to achieve in order to strengthen or to protect their interests in the community. And then good succession planning. Succession planning is very important. Succession planning is a process where the originator of family business prefers the next leader to take over. As he gets older, he prefers the next leader to take over the business and put everything in place for the transformation. That is succession planning. So failure to plan well ahead of time may result in a problem, because you may end up giving the business to somebody who have no requisite skill and experience to manage. But when you prepare somebody well ahead of time, that person can be able to manage the business when the time comes. Then compensation and reward planning. Just like what is obtainable in other businesses, a family business needs to have a kind of a compensation plan, packages. Every member of the family who is contributing needs to be compensated. Not only in family business, even a personal business, you need to compensate yourself, you as the owner, because you are exerting your effort, you are wasting your time, you are doing all the necessary things to make sure the business survives. So you need to enjoy some portion of the profit and what have you. So you need to pay yourself salary or wages like that. So same can be used in family business to compensate the family members who are working for the business. And at the end of the day, you may even share something like dividend or profit to the family members as part of their business earning. And the recruitment reward for non-family professionals. Just like other businesses, family business should make sure it recruits people from it employs workers from outside its family, so that the benefit of diversity and what have you will be felt in the organization, and all those people should be rewarded accordingly in commensuration with what is obtainable in other corporate organizations. And the retirement and estate planning. A family business should always have a plan, aside for the elderly person in the business. In most situations, the initiator, the person who created the business in the first instance, like the grandfather or father or one of the elders in the family. So a good retirement plan should be set aside for the person, so that he can easily hand over the business willingly to the next leader to take over. In challenges of family business, just like other businesses, family business has a lot of challenges. The challenges are even more pronounced in family business, because the same family members are involved and a lot of things happen. So there are a lot of challenges. So it's very important for family business managers know about these challenges, so that a solution can be provided beforehand. So one of the challenges is assuming the past success will guarantee their future success. So in most situations, the entrepreneurial drive of the the senior members of the family may be quite different from the successor generation. So the kind of risks the initiators took to create the business and or maybe survive it, you understand, cannot be taken by the successor generation. So in one situation that affects family business seriously. So in one situation, because the initiator create goodwill or reputation for the business over time, so the successor generation falsely believe that the same success will continue, not minding the changes in the environment and so many other environmental issues that may likely to affect the business if an endeavor, an effort is not done to promote its interests. And then the legacy value attributed to the business does not translate into market value or advantage. Sometimes, because of the nature of family businesses, like most of family businesses, they do use the traditional method of operation and things like that. So because of that, the market value of the business cannot translate into market. The real value of the business cannot translate into the market value of it, or maybe the value may be lower than the market value because of its nature. And then risk profile differ between senior and successor generation. The kind of risks the senior member of the family took or take to sustain the business cannot be taken by the successor generation. So there is going to be a challenge. Like for example, if you trace a lot of family businesses history, you find out that the initiator, senior member of the family, took a lot of risks, went through a lot of difficulties to be able to create the business and survive it over years, which the successor generation cannot go through all these kind of experiences. And then family do not get rid of unproductive assets and underperforming businesses to relocate businesses to more productive places. Sometimes because of a family nature of family business, some of the assets and what have you cannot be disposed of to reinvest the money into more productive areas. Because of a family issue, sometimes unanimous consent need to be sought before things like this happen, disposing of a particular asset or something like that. Sometimes one member of the family may refuse to allow for such to happen, so it may cause a lot of problems to the family business. Challenges continue. So successor generation family members feel entitled to get a business rather than seek next generation entrepreneurial opportunity. It's another problem. Families rarely make use of same financial strategy as those used by the fellow entrepreneurs to grow their business because of the nature of family, and this is one of the factors that normally kill family businesses, because the family business owners don't use entrepreneurial drive, tactics and techniques to manage their business, which result in the failure to sustain it. The family member is given part of the business to run as part of their legacy, and this is deemed to be entrepreneurship in family members. So the moment family members try to break the family business into pieces based on everybody's legacy, that may cause a serious problem to the business, because the share capital and what have you may be broken down into pieces which cannot be used as if it is being used from a single person. The further challenge is lack of an exit strategy, lack of proper planning for exit strategy, maybe handing over the business to successor generation, or maybe diversing the investment to invest in a more productive business can seriously affect family business. Then succession planning, and then high turnover of non-family members. Because of issues involved in family businesses, you find high turnover of non-family employees and other workers, because a small child from a family may look down on some of their workers because the business belongs to them. So all this kind of a thing may cause a problem. And sometimes an employee may suggest a very creative idea that can promote or help the business and to not be accepted. So all this kind of a thing may frustrate an employee and cause them to leave. A lack of training of new family members who join the business, without training, proper training, that can cause a lot of problems. And then lack of outside opinion and diversity on how to operate the business, because the business is owned by a single family. So that can cause lack of diversity, a single idea to manage the business. But if, like for example, a share can be sold to other people, or other people can be allowed to partake in the family business, those people can bring in their new ideas on how to manage the business properly, on how to change it, transform it. You understand? So that can really help. Then cultural context in family business. So this one is trying to explain how culture affect family business. Because of the nature of family business, belonging to a single family within a particular community, that kind of business are more sensitive to cultural issues than normal businesses. Like most of the corporate businesses, which are less sensitive to cultural norms and what have you in their community than family business, because it's something that belongs to the family within a particular community. So there are so many ways in which the cultural issues affect family business. For example, value of community life, because of being from a single family, that kind of family business try as much as it can to identify itself with the community, and it goes even extra mile to defend the interests of the community, and that can even affect the business operation. And then value of family oneness, these are other cultural issues that may affect family business. And then value of sacred and religion, there are a lot of local customs, traditional beliefs and what have you that can affect family business. Value of old age and authority, respect for the old age and authority, this can also affect family business. Value of acceptance and hospitality is another factor. So now we are going to see how these cultural issues we identify affect family business. Number one, work days available for operation. Because of the affiliation family business to its community, whenever there is a ceremony or something of that nature, in that community, there will be that in those days there might be no business operation, because all family members will try as much as they can to attend the ceremony and what have you. So in that, the number of days available for operation will be reduced drastically, because every time there is a ceremony or activity in the community, the members have to attend, and that will reduce their timing or attention on the business. And with the gender structure of workforce or management, because of the cultural issues, a lot of Nigerians, some of the Nigerians are highly conservative when it comes to gender issues. They look at women as very weak sex, so they don't give them a kind of active role to manage in family business, and that seriously affect the business. Even if there is a person, a female, that has all it takes to manage a particular portion of the business, like marketing or something like that, they may not give her because of the cultural beliefs and what have you. And the nature of investment, most family business don't invest in business that its community don't value or don't appreciate. So they normally invest their money and what have you in the kind of business that is recognized in the community as lawful and what have you. So that can limit their opportunities identification and using. Then succession in the business, succession is another way, because number of families have different way of succession. Like in some culture, in Nigeria, they give precisely share to the male child than female. So in that kind of situation, a family business, will automatically be belonging to the male people in the family, male heirs than the female. So that can cause a lot of issues in the family business. The roles and relationship in family business. Generally, there are 4 main types of job roles in family businesses. In normal businesses, we have owners or directors who are responsible for the overall direction of the business. You have managers, often appointed and responsible for one area of business such as marketing, production or finance. And then you have supervisors who have day-to-day responsibility for looking after a team of operatives. And then you have operative staff who carry out the basic function of the business, like shop floor workers and what have you. So these are the 4 main types of job roles in normal businesses. So these kind of roles are not so different from family business. They are almost the same thing in family businesses. The only difference is that in most of the family businesses, these roles are occupied by family members in most situations. Especially the first 2 category, the owners or the managers, are mostly occupied by the family members, while the others may be occupied by other people from outside the family. Even though you may find some exception in some family businesses, this is mostly the case. So in family-owned business, the situation is not any different, but family members' occupation of the role is dependent on their place in the family, capacity and contribution they make. So it all depends on the nature of the family and the kind of relationship, persisting in the family. That determines who and who occupy a particular role in the family business. Then advantage of family business. Advantage of family business, strength of family relationship. Because of the family thing, everyone will work extra hard to make sure they sustain it, and they work very hard to contribute their own quota. Sometimes some can even sacrifice their earning and what have you in order to see the success of the family business. And then financial sacrifice for the good of the firm, and operation as a family business makes it unique. A set of family like father with his children operating a kind of a bakery or something like that will look very, very unique, very special. And then concern for its community and non-family employees, because they belong to a particular community, so they are very sensitive to their community. Anything that affects their family, it equally affects them. And then capability to plan and prepare for long haul because of the transfer of the managerial position and leadership, from one family member to another, from one generation to another. So in most situations, family businesses survive for a very long period of time, and the emphasis on quality and value, because it's a family business. So no member of a family will try to see anything that may cause that discredit their image in their community. So they try as much as they can to make sure their products and services are up to the expectation of their community by providing the needed quality and value in their product or service. Of course, there are some disadvantages of family business. Conflict among family members may result in risks, consequences of failure to the family in launching a business, because issues can cause somebody to just demand for his ownership of family business, and they have to just give it to him. So that can cause a lot of problem to them. Nepotism and differences in the competencies and merit of family members involved in the family business. Sometimes the children of the bigger wife or the new wife, may have better chances. Favoritism and stuff like this can happen in the family business, and this can cause a lot of issues in the family business. And sometimes, roles are given not based on merit or competence, but based on your relationship in the family, and this cause a lot of problems, management issues. So what are the way forward? In order to manage family business effectively, to minimize conflict and issues, a family business should have a family retreat, a gathering of family members, usually at a remote location, to discuss family business matters. Maybe once in a year, or biannually, or quarterly, you understand, to discuss all issues that affect the business operation, so that a solution can be provided at that very moment, so that they continue surviving the business. Family council, an organized group of family members, mostly elderly, who gather periodically to discuss family-related business issues, and all family business constitution, the memorandum of association that spells out the rules and regulation, the ownership, the responsibility, and what have you of each and every person in the family. So now we have succession planning. Now, succession planning is the process of transferring managerial control from one leader or one generation of leaders to the next. This process is what that ensure longevity of family business. It long years of survival because of this succession planning. So in the context of family business, Sharma et al. Defines succession as the action of an event that led to the transition of leadership or managerial power from one family member to another. This normally happens when the initiator, the leader of the family business, gets old or is retiring. So we normally look for another competent family member who can take over the affairs of the business, and as such, succession planning, takes place. Succession planning, entrepreneurial succession, is the process by which ownership and control of the production or commercial infrastructure accumulated by one generation of a nuclear family or extended family is transferred to the next. It entails the transfer of commercial investment and any type from the owner, founder, to his prospective survivors or heirs. So, beneficiary of family business. This could be a member of a nuclear family in a monogamous household, or members of a compound family in a polygamous household. So it all depends. Every member of the family could be the next leader of the business, depending on his competence, experience, and skills. And then survivors could also be members of extended families such as uncles, aunts, nephews, nieces, cousins, etc. and etc. So everyone could be the next leader of the business. So there are so many stages that family business normally use to arrive at the right person for the succession planning, or to take over the business. First is pre-business involvement. This happens right from the childhood stage, where you will be taking your children to your business premises or environment to see what happens there, to have an idea of what the business is all about. And then education and personal development. This is a stage where you put them in school to train them, to educate them, to give them the basic knowledge so that they can be able to manage your business when time comes. And then proof of competence. This is when a period when they may graduate from the school and have all the necessary certification and competence proof, and that is when you start considering involving them into the business. And then there is formal start in the business, where you give them some position to handle, like marketing manager or somebody in the business, so that they have a say and they know all what happens in the business. And then finally you declare somebody who has all what it takes, all the necessary experience and what have you, as the new leader for the business. That is declaration of succession, the final stage. So these are the stage. So condition favoring successful leadership succession in a family business. So what are the techniques, or what are the factors that warrants successful succession transfer of managerial position from a senior member, a founder, to the next leader or successor. So number one is sound or profitable business. There must be a very effective and efficient business. A business that is failing, that is having issues, may not be very in a better position to ensure succession planning, because members of the family will be focused on how to revive and sustain the business. So stable healthy family relationship is another factor. A family where you have misunderstanding, where you have issues, you may have challenges when transferring the managerial position from one person to another, because some other people may challenge it, may say this guy is not eligible, does not have what it takes to be, or is not a genuine member of the family. So issues may arise. And that advanced planning for leadership succession, succession planning or succession of managerial position is not an easy activity. It's something that needs to be planned well ahead of time, right from when the identified leader is in the childhood. You start preparing him, and you involve all the family members and educate everyone, so that everyone readily knows exactly who is going to be the next leader, so that when the time comes, there will be no objection. And then positive family leadership and team-oriented management structure is another factor that favors successful leadership transformation. And then presentation of career opportunities without pressure. If a family member refuses to accept a role in a family business, that role shouldn't be forced to that person, because everything has to be guided by the interest, passion. If anybody doesn't have passion, let him go and purchase one car, let him go and look for whatever it is he wants. But anybody that have interest in the family business, let him come and join the family business. And then there should be open communication on family business issues, so that solution can be identified easily without much issue. So this is all we can take on family business. I hope you enjoyed the lecture, and I hope you can make an extra effort to get more material, especially from the PDF lecture notes that we attach in the online platform. So try to get it and read it. It has the detailed information, discussion about the course. So thank you for your time, and for those that have any question and what have you can drop it at the forum. Thank you.